Welcome, survivors, seekers, and thrivers. I'm your host, Shari Lee Roberts, psychic medium, energy healer, and living proof that you can transform your pain into power. Each episode, we dive into trauma healing, developing your intuitive gifts, and reclaiming your life. Get ready for real stories, deep wisdom, and a little laughter along the way.
Hello, and welcome. I am thrilled to have Celeste O'Delle here today. This incredible woman has written a book, a memoir titled Rerouted. The memoir of a wild child. And oh, can I really lay additionally, Celeste is a survivor of multiple types of trauma. Some of those are really religious upbringing, attempted hostage taking, rape, abuse, relation, ships, and an accident that left her physically and emotionally shaken. I'm kind of picking up that that accident was kind of they final surgery. They left you ultimately better. I mean, just in a horrible place. Celeste, welcome, and thank you for your willingness to come on and to share what is not easily shared. The fact that you are willing and able to do that. So because to your formative healing journey. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
To have you. If you would take us back to your childhood, and then through this trauma that you endured. I can't even imagine.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here. Going back to my childhood, I was raised in a very strict religious home, and there's some very, very lovely things that came out of being brought up there. The community and some connectedness. But there was also a lot of confusion for me because it was so rule based, and I felt like I was different. I always felt like I didn't fit in because I didn't like the rules,
Yeah.
first of all.
Yeah.
And they just didn't seem to make sense to me. But I'm like, I could feel spiritual things, but to have it put into these rules was like, it just didn't make sense to me. So I felt like I was
Mhm.
always like I was a confused child right from the get-go, because of the religion. There was some, you know, feelings that there was definitely some spirituality out there, but it was not the way I was being taught. Excuse me. And then, my parents, I loved them very much, but I would hear my dad hit my mom after we went to bed sometimes. And I love my dad, and I had a lot of respect for him. So, and they're telling us, to love and all these, other things in, you know, the religion and growing up. And then there was that. So I'm like, okay, this feels contradictory.
Trời ơi, trời ơi, mà ảnh đó thao lại nhở quá hả rồi vậy lấy you were brought up being
Yeah, of course. So it was a Mennonite Christian. Um,
wow.
and there's lots of different sects of Mennonites. So ours was not the one where we weren't allowed to drive cars, because there's some that they're not even
Trời ơi,
allowed to be in a car or whatever.
trời ơi.
But we could be in a car. So I don't know why God made ours, able to drive cars and that one not. But it was like, I don't know.
Wow,
Who knows?
thank God.
Yeah. Anyways, so it was very rule based, and it was and I knew, like I said, I knew there was something more.
Yeah.
But so as a child, I believe that I brought on took on these beliefs that I never measured up. I was never good enough.
Mm.
Um, I was, I kind of felt shame and guilt all through my childhood and a lot of my adult life, because I felt I took on this belief that I could never live up to what was expected.
Mm.
Um, that really drove a lot of my crazy life and decisions and things that kind of unfolded from there. It was like I didn't have any self-esteem. And yeah.
Did, did was beliefs come from the religion or from your upbringing, your
Yeah.
parents, because there's always a source when we feel that way. Just as there is always a source for people who feel good about themselves, confident.
Mhm.
What do you relate to you feeling that way?
Probably, I mean, both. I think it was,
Okay.
I was the youngest of four of us, and one of my brothers was the golden child. So my dad would even say, like, why can't you be like him?
Mm.
Right? I
Yeah,
wasn't in any
yeah,
way. I was unruly, wild, confused, trying to
yeah,
find my place in this family and in this world. And I was definitely not like my brother. But
yeah,
I was being compared to that, and I could never live up.
yeah,
So in a lot of ways, I just said, fuck it. And I
yeah,
just went off the other way and
yeah,
led a very wild life. Because it was my way of maybe feeling in control.
yeah,
Um, I mean,
sure.
in a screwed up way, but
Yeah, but that is, I think, human nature
yeah,
to feel some semblance of control, regardless of how we are doing it.
yeah,
Boy, we have a lot in common
yeah.
already. Okay, how old were you when you left home? Or were did you get in trouble for some of the things you did? Keep on
Okay.
going.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, um, I started to find out that I could use my body
Mm,
as
yeah,
a validation very young.
okay.
I was probably 13,
Uh-uh.
and I started to recognize how I could have control and power, um, and validation of me. Oh, somebody likes me at
Yeah,
probably around 13 years old. So that started a real spiral of boys
yeah,
in my life.
yeah.
I ended up leaving home at about 16,
Mm,
and I was like smoking, drinking, drugs, and I got a
mm,
job, which I eventually had to leave because I was being sexually harassed. And it
oh,
was a lot to be try and make it on my own in an apartment and be adult at
yeah.
16. Ah,
Where,
it was
yeah, where did you grow up, and how far did you move away from your family?
um yeah, I was in rural Canada. I grew up in rural
Oh,
Canada. And it was only about an hour away from where my family to the city.
yeah.
Yeah. And there were some really hard lessons there. And I eventually, when I quit my job because of the sexual harassment, um, I I ended up calling my parents and saying, I think I need to finish my high school.
Uh,
Think I could get a better job if I have my grade 12.
yeah.
So they actually helped me to get my grade 12.
Oh,
And then I put myself through college. Um, I worked like two or three jobs, and I did it. But
yeah.
in that time, I had met a boy, a
Mhm.
young man,
Yeah.
and at that point we think we're all old.
Oh, I know.
And and so we decided to live together. And because that was that was not approved from my parents and the religious community, there was a lot of pressure to get married.
Oh, boy.
And I had already been through a situation where I had been raped and just a lot of wild things, that wild partying and so on. And because there was a part of me that felt like I maybe deserved it.
Yeah.
So I just shut up about it. Right.
Wow. Yeah.
And I think too often we do that when we don't have that wholeness going on yet, and we don't believe in ourselves or trust ourselves or love ourselves. We kind of shove these things down that we're tolerating, that because on some level we feel like we deserved it. So that really added to my pain.
Yes.
And then I got this boyfriend, and we were living together, and because of the community, my parents just were like, you need to get married, you're living together, you need to get married. So one day he's like, well, fuck, should we just do it to get your parents off our ass?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, we probably should, because this is getting annoying.
Yeah.
We didn't love each other. We had no idea. I didn't love myself, neither did he. Like, we had no idea. So we ended up getting married. And I wasn't married to him very long. And we were talking about, I was dreaming about traveling or something. And I'm like, because we had a terrible honeymoon. I'm like, maybe we should have a redo when we have more money to go on a nicer honeymoon or whatever it was. And so the topic of passports came up, and anyways, he said, I don't know, can you get a passport with a record? I'm like,
Oh, shut up.
and I'm like, what kind of record do you have? He goes, oh, just rape. And he goes, but it wasn't my fault.
Oh boy.
And my
Oh my.
everything in me just went, what have I done?
Yeah. Oh dear.
So that
Fail.
really hit me. I didn't even know this person, and
Yeah.
like it definitely triggered me. And
Yes.
especially because he didn't take responsibility for it,
Right. Yeah.
and he was, and even just the fact that he was capable of it was, yeah.
Oh, well. Yeah.
So I stayed married to him for a little while, and then he moved to a different city for a job thing, and we just grew apart, and we ended up deciding to get divorced. And then something snapped in him, and he came back and threatened to kill me and my family. And I think he just kind of lost it. Yeah. And so anyway, so we had to navigate that. Obviously, he did not go through on his threats, but it was like,
Well,
I'm
oh
19.
my
By this
God.
time, I'm 19 years old, maybe 20.
Oh Lord.
So I'm still
Oh,
very young in
yes.
navigating this. Yeah.
How long after he left and you drifted apart and photographs did he snap and come back? Lord.
Well, we weren't divorced yet when he did that.
Okay.
We divorced after, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah. Um, I'm gonna say, I don't know, 6 months, something like that. He was gone. Yeah,
Not
yeah,
alone.
yeah. Yeah. So that was really
I,
interesting how
yeah,
I could pick somebody like this. And yeah, so it just added to my repertoire at the moment.
well, you're terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am assuming he was taken into custody, and did he do jail time?
No, I didn't call the police.
No. How in
Yeah.
the world did you get out of it alive and get him to leave you alone, or did he?
Yeah. So I was in hiding for a while. I was living in hiding. Um, and then it dawned on me that he had such respect for one of his brothers, and he was a very professional
Mm.
man in the city. And I thought, if I could talk to his brother, I might be able to get this taken care of. And
Yeah.
it worked. So I met in a public place with the brother, and I just told him what was going on, and he knew that my husband was had struggled with anger, and he was struggling within himself.
Yeah.
So when I told him, I don't think he was really surprised. But
Okay.
he
Good.
he intervened and talked sense into him, and so that put it into that.
Ja, well, say brilliant Mayo and your part.
Yeah,
Whoa,
yeah.
God, I like keep going. Yeah, what did you do after that? And what else happened?
Well, so yeah, that really shook me.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I didn't even really want to have another man in my life for a little bit. And
Mhm.
then I did date somebody for a very brief time, and I'm just like, I'm not ready. This is like, it was not. I was a mess. But then I found out I was pregnant. So
Oh no.
I'm like, okay, this is like the worst person to have a baby with. I'd already broken up with him. But I really felt like I'm meant to have this baby. I'm not like,
Uh,
I know there's
yeah,
options, but I really
yeah.
felt that. So I had her, and she was
Uh,
the bright light in my life.
uh,
Um, and then I met my second husband at work, and he felt very safe to me. And not very many people up to this point, because you can kind of tell by my patterns.
yeah,
But
yeah,
not very many people felt safe to me. And this person
yeah,
was very kind and safe. And I thought, wow, he would be a good dad.
yeah.
And he was. I mean, I was still a mess. I had done no healing within myself at this point.
Mm,
Um,
yeah.
but I think I was a good mom. And I loved her very much. But I was still, my soul was like, I was messy. And
Yeah.
but I married this man because he felt safe to me. And so kind of the next, and I walked away from the religion, obviously.
Yeah.
But the next thing that kind of happened that made me go, like, there's something more going on here. like
Mm.
spiritually, than I'm giving credit to, is when I was involved in an attempted hostage taking. And I led the he had been in jail for murder, and he had escaped. He was being taken from one spot to another, whatever, with two guards, and he escaped. So he ended up in our office building, and he was there. Like, he just came in the door, and my instincts right away is that, like, every hair on my body, like, that's kind of
Yeah.
seems to be my thing when my instincts are really
Yeah.
strong. It's like this,
Yeah.
like, my spidey senses were going off. And so I ended up navigating the secretary, or that was right beside me, and she went and hid. But I ended up leading him outside the building so that everybody was
Wow.
safe. So he started chasing me, and I was just operating on instinct, instinct,
Yeah.
instinct. It happened so fast, but after it was all over and I kind of started processing things, and I was diagnosed with PTSD a while later. I didn't know this at the time, but I mean, it was a lot.
Yeah.
But I recognized that it, I like we could have all been dead had I
Yeah.
not acted on my instincts.
Yeah.
And it wasn't anything that I thought about in my brain. It wasn't, and so I'm like, this is really interesting. This strong instincts that I have. And then I had, instances happen since then that I really, like, my intuitive nature is very strong.
Mhm.
But that kind of planted the seed of curiosity again in me.
Yeah.
Um, I didn't know what to do with it, but it kind of planted the seed. And then 5 years later, after this incident, and I'm living in a different city, like, there's millions of people, um, working at a different job, like, everything in my life is different. And I come across this file. I'm an insurance claims manager, so I
Mm.
dictate every file that comes across the desk, like who's going to get it, what are we going to do with this, yada yada.
Mm.
Um, and I decided to take this one myself, which would be an unusual file for me to do myself. So I contacted the lady. It was she had had a burglary, and she's like, I'm a widow and I've got 3 boys. I'm homeschooling, and so I'm very busy, but I'll try and get you this information. I make friends with her. We're friendly. I don't make not. I'm not mixing business with personal so much, but we're
Right.
definitely friendly and have a good rapport. And it's getting close to the time where, we've got to close a file, and I recognize, like, she's just, like, scrambling with life. That I'm like, okay, how can I help you? Because we have a timeline here we need to
Mhm.
consider. Anyways, and we got chatting, and I said, you're really young to be a widow. Like, what happened with your husband? Like, what? And she goes, oh, he was a prison guard that was involved in a hostage taking, and he ended up not being able to handle it, and he commits suicide. And I'm like,
No.
I have and that instinct in me came
Oh
up again.
my God.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
that was the prison guard that was involved in my situation.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
How can we be in a city of millions of people?
Yeah.
I was so drawn to this file for whatever reason. And
Yeah.
and she's now sharing that her husband couldn't handle what had happened, so he chose that. And I'm like, my head was spinning. I'm like, why are we being brought together? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so this
Yeah.
synchronicity thing was like, this is not a coincidence.
No.
There's
No.
no way that
Yeah.
this is a coincidence.
Yeah.
So the universe was showing me that, there's synchronicities happening all the time around me. And maybe I was like, maybe there's something she needs to know. Or so I told her, I said, I'm the woman in that incident. I have no idea why we were brought together,
Yeah.
but is there something that you want to know or need to know about that day? Because I was scrambling, like I don't know
Yeah.
what to do here.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And so she said, yes, please tell me your side of the story. So I did. And she's weeping on the other end of
Yeah.
the phone.
Yeah.
And maybe it helped with some of her healing for it. I don't know. I will probably never know, but I definitely know that that was not a coincidence that I'd
No.
meet. No.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't believe that there are any coincidences.
Yeah.
I've, like you, have come to understand that God arranges every meeting, everything that happens. How weird and bizarre, but
Yeah.
also wonderful
Yeah.
for her
Yeah.
because it seems as though your point of view, your experience gave her closure,
Yeah.
kind of like she was telling her husband over and over, it's not your fault. No one was hurt. It's okay. It's okay. Give yourself a break.
Yeah.
So you sharing that allowed her to finally put it to rest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, girl,
Yeah.
you have a wild
Yeah.
story.
Okay, there's more.
Oh, I know. Oh, I can't wait. What year did the hostage thing happen? And what age were you?
I can't remember the exact year, but um I was just barely married to my second husband. So I would have been mid-20s.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
your daughter was what age?
She would have been 3 or
Um,
3.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep on
Yeah.
going.
So that so these strange instances that kept happening to me, would spark this curiosity and this opening in me. But I was so broken, I still couldn't. I
Yeah.
needed to do the healing before I could understand any of it. And I wasn't at that place yet.
Yeah.
Apparently I had to go through more. So
Yeah.
I ended up leaving my husband, and for no reason other than I was bored and lost. And was he perfect? No, but he wasn't a bad man, and I would never say that he was a bad man in any way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was just so lost. I didn't know how to do healthy relationships.
Yeah.
I really didn't.
Yeah. I didn't either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting divorced, and then going through my cycle of unhealthy relationship after unhealthy relationship. Like it just kept
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
And then I ended up in a narcissist one, which was I can't even. The only reason that a narcissist would be with me is if I'm unhealthy too.
Yeah.
I see that now.
Yeah.
I cannot
Me too.
I cannot just blame, well, he did that to me.
No.
We were both players in this unhealthy game.
Yeah.
And sadly, he triggered every insecurity and emotional yeah, it I felt like the most confused, zero self-esteem again, or still. It was very, very difficult to even explain. If you've been in a narcissist relationship, like you just don't even know who you are anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's always
Well,
my fault.
yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes.
They Feelade akali terror their partner whomever is in their crosshairs
Yes.
down to the point that person will feels they were dead, and many even think they deserved to be dead. I have been there, had my whole life of narcissism. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
It's
hear her. You
it's a dangerous relationship for sure.
yeah.
And the interesting thing, I know now, I didn't know as I was going through this. Whenever I left a relationship, which I've left many, in my, um, it would be done. Like, we're done. I'm gone. I'm on to my next, thing
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
With this person, I kept going back.
Yeah.
He kept drawing me back in,
Mhm.
drawing me back in, drawing me back in. So this particular, I actually convinced him to go to counseling. And it's interesting because I would hear how he's talking to the counselor. I'm like, oh my gosh, like it was just a weave
Uh,
of something that I'm like, not even that isn't even
yeah.
close to what's going on.
Yeah.
It was very very interesting. But anyways, we were going on a weekend away to repair our relationship,
Mhm.
a romantic weekend away. And so we go to this town or city that's on the lake. It's very beautiful. And we're there maybe 2 hours. We check into the hotel. We walk down to the beach, which is like 5-minute walk. And we're laying under this tree in the shade and kind of in and out of the water a little bit. And then a branch from this cottonwood tree the branch is about 40 feet long and quite big in diameter, comes off the tree, and everybody in the whole beach hears this crack. They're laying underneath this tree. And he yells, roll. And so he rolls one way. I try to get up because I'm not laying on my back. So I try to get up and roll the other way, and I get plummeted to the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm in and out of consciousness. I don't know what's going on. I'm like in this dream state, and then I'm coming back, and then I'm like, I can hear yelling, and then I'm out, and then I'm just kind of like weaving in and out of what I don't really know, but I mean, it was something else. And I can't move.
Yeah.
I can't move.
Yeah.
I am, and then I'm like, oh, where is he? Where is like, and I can, as I'm, hearing all the sirens, and this man touches my shoulder and he says, I'm a doctor. I saw what happened. I'm going to touch you. Like, don't move. And I'm like, I can't move, buddy. Like, what
Yeah.
Anyway, so eventually they get the tree off of me, and they're going to take me to the hospital, of course. I convinced them that I'm fine.
No.
Because the repercussions, I knew
Yeah.
the repercussions from my narcissist is not worth me going to the hospital.
Yeah.
How fucked up is that?
Well, totally fucked up, but you were right on the point. That is how they are.
Yeah.
No one is allowed attention other than them, and God help the person that gets the attention.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So
he even said, I'm going to sue the city because they ruined my weekend.
yeah. There you go.
So anyways, eventually I couldn't even drive. I couldn't sit in the car to go home even. Like, we had to extend our time there. And I've suffered, backaches and different things because I've been very active in sports all my life.
Yeah.
But the pain that I was in was just, it was so excruciating. I was going out of my mind.
Yeah.
So eventually we got back to where we lived, and I was pretty much bedridden for about 3 months. I could get up a little bit to go, to the washroom or grab something from the fridge, but that was about it.
Did you ever go to a doctor where you ever properly treated?
I did go to a doctor after I got back home, but I was so black and blue that they couldn't even touching me was like, I couldn't. So we had to wait until some of the swelling and the bruising went away, and then I hadn't broken anything, which they said if I had broke my back it would have been better, but my pelvis twisted about almost 30%. Because it hit me.
God.
It kind of hit me on the one side.
Yeah.
So it just contorted my body. And the pain was just so excruciating. And
Yeah.
there were times when I actually planned my suicide.
Oh,
Um,
Lord.
and because I couldn't sleep at night either. Like
Yeah.
nothing. I mean,
Oh,
day after day, night after night. So I
yeah.
actually planned my suicide, and um, I write about this in my book because the only reason I couldn't even put my plan into place was because I couldn't move. I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is going to be a little
Wow.
hard to put my plan into place if I can't even
Yeah.
get out of this bed.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And then,
Oh,
somehow I made it through the next day, and I didn't do it. So obviously I'm very grateful now.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but I had another incident that was really awakening for me, and was kind of the start of me pulling it together.
Mhm.
I'm not going to say it was the start of my awakening, but it was the start of me kind of pulling my life together a little bit.
Mhm.
My narcissist and I had a big argument and I noticed, like, hindsight, how he knew exactly how to start these
Yep.
arguments.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
he knew exactly what button to push, what to do, what to do, what to do. And then
Yep.
I can have the night to myself and she goes away.
Yep.
That's exactly
Mhm.
anyway.
Yep.
So this time, we start the argument. There's again those hairs on my body, my arms were going, you need to get out of here. Like, you need to leave. You're not
Wow.
safe. You need to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a vehicle there because at this point still my driving wasn't um I there was very little times I could still drive myself at this point.
Yeah.
Little bits I could, but um I still was in so much pain. Driving was difficult, and
Yeah.
there was a big snowstorm. So
Oh.
so I said to him, I said, I'm going to take the truck and I'm going to go. Um, I'm going to leave. And he's like, the hell you are, kind of thing, but not
Yeah.
really thinking I would do it.
Yeah.
But again, I'm like, those hairs on my arms were going, meh.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I grabbed the keys and off I went. Well, I mean, he was having a fit. Like, the phone calls, the messages and stuff. And I
Yeah.
was driving, like, white knuckling it through this
Yeah.
snowstorm
Oh
to
my
get to
God.
safety.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing about this is when I got to where I was safe, I felt calm and peaceful. And there was something that shifted for me.
Mhm.
And I'm like, this is a feeling I haven't felt in a long time. And I went to bed and I had the most amazing sleep I'd had in years.
Yeah.
And when I woke up, and I think I was still kind of in that astral plane or something, and
Yeah.
I heard something say to me, if you don't get out of this relationship, you're dead. And I'm like,
Mm. Yeah.
I sat up and I'm like, what was I dreaming? Like, what am I losing my marbles? What is going on? And there was something at the foot of my bed, and it said it
Mm.
to me again. If you don't get out of this relationship, you're dead.
Yeah.
And I already felt like I was dead inside. So kind of made
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I'm like, okay. And that gave me the strength to get out of my narcissist relationship.
Good.
I hung on to that. I'm like, man, I mean, I had a tree and now I've got a spirit or something coming to me. Like, how many signs do I need?
Yeah.
Ah, so I got out it and I it took a while to unravel
Mhm.
the mess that I was in. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, these Oof. It took me a little bit to unravel that.
Yeah.
I ended up eventually moving from that city, just fresh start.
Yeah.
I ended up quitting my job because by that point, I was not enjoying it at all. I could hardly, they put me into a different position because I wasn't capable physically of doing what I was supposed to be doing. So they
Oh,
put me in a different position, and I was just miserable.
yeah.
I was miserable in all aspects of my life. I was like,
Yeah.
I was in a bad place.
Yeah.
Um, so I moved, and of course, the misery kind of followed me, but at least I didn't have all the triggers in the new city.
Yeah.
Um, and I slowly started to unravel all the mess. Um, and and then I've finally got some support that really resonated with me, and I started my journey of healing. Whew.
Welcome, survivors, seekers, and thrivers. I'm your host, Shari Lee Roberts, psychic medium, energy healer, and living proof that you can transform your pain into power. Each episode, we dive into trauma healing, developing your intuitive gifts, and reclaiming your life. Get ready for real stories, deep wisdom, and a little laughter along the way.